Good evening. This is Santa Claus on January 29, 2026, bringing you today's stories from around our beautiful, though sometimes troubled, world. My friends, on this day 4 years ago, a speech was given about what was called an axis of evil, reminding us that words can shape how we see one another. And today, I'm afraid we still see much division in our global family, though there are always glimmers of hope to warm our hearts. In Switzerland, there's a lesson about perseverance, as Swiss exports to the United States reached a record high despite facing steep tariffs. After some initial discord between leaders, they found a path forward with reduced tariffs and new investments. Oh ho ho! It warms my heart to see nations working through differences with good faith and compromise. Meanwhile, across the globe, Britain and China have begun a reset in their relationship. Prime Minister Starmer and President Xi spent 3 hours together discussing trade, security, and even found time to chat about soccer and Shakespeare. Such personal connections remind us that behind every negotiation are human beings with shared interests and passion. In more sobering news, the European Union has designated Iran's Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization, citing the tragic deaths of thousands during crackdowns on protesters. My heart aches for the families of those lost, and I pray for peaceful resolution that honors the dignity of all people. Turning our attention to Myanmar, ASEAN has declined to recognize recent elections there, a significant stance that reminds us of the importance of free and fair democratic processes. Thailand has suggested a calibrated engagement approach, showing that even in difficult situations, nations seek paths toward dialogue. With heavy heart, I must acknowledge the devastating toll of human suffering in Gaza, where the IDF has accepted reports that over 71,000 Palestinians have died in the conflict. Each life lost is precious beyond measure. Each family broken by violence deserves our prayers and our efforts for peace. The war in Ukraine continues to exact a terrible price, with a report suggesting Russian casualties have topped 1.2 million, including 325,000 soldiers killed. Behind each of these numbers is a mother's son, a father, a brother. The total casualties on both sides may reach 2 million by April if the fighting continues. Oh, how my heart yearns for the day when weapons are laid down and reconciliation begins. In diplomatic news, Canada's relationship with the United States has faced some tension after Prime Minister Carney's speech at Davos prompted sharp words from President Trump. Remember, my friends, that good neighbors must speak with respect and listen with patience, especially when they depend upon one another. There's promising news for trade between India and the European Union, with India agreeing to reduce tariffs on high-end European cars from 110% to 30%. Such agreements remind us that when nations lower barriers, new opportunities for cooperation and prosperity can emerge. In Australia, Prime Minister Albanese has committed to returning the Darwin port, currently under a 99-year lease to a Chinese company, to Australian ownership. This situation reminds us that nations must balance economic interests with security concerns, always with their citizens' welfare at heart. The Dutch court has ruled that the Netherlands must do more to protect residents of Bonaire, a Caribbean island, from climate change. Parts of this beautiful island could be underwater by 2050 without action. We are all stewards of this precious earth, and those most vulnerable to climate effects deserve special care and attention. Across the Middle East, nations are working desperately to find diplomatic solutions between the United States and Iran, though progress has been difficult. Turkey's President Erdogan has offered to host talks between the countries. Let us pray that cool heads prevail and that the path of dialogue remains open. Ukrainian farmers face a concerning challenge as temperatures are expected to plunge to minus 30 degrees Celsius next week, threatening winter wheat crops. The combination of severe frosts and insufficient snow cover could damage food supplies that so many depend upon. I hope communities will rally to support one another through these difficult conditions. Finally, an operation involving the FBI has led to the arrest of an alleged drug lord in Mexico, but has also strained relations between the countries due to Mexico's laws prohibiting foreign agents from participating in law enforcement actions on its soil. Even in pursuing justice, nations must respect one another's sovereignty and laws. As I look at our world tonight, I'm reminded that in every challenge lies an opportunity for compassion, in every conflict a chance for peace, and in every hardship a calling to help one another. Whatever darkness we face, the light of human kindness can overcome it if we share our burdens and extend our hands to one another. Until tomorrow, this is Santa Claus wishing you peace, hope, and goodwill to all.